Palutena, Fox, and Dr. Mario, of all characters, but I think we're just going to be seeing the goddess herself versus the angel killer, Bayonetta. This is going to be a great set, guys. Everybody make some noise for your two competitors. All right, Lima starting off on the right foot. Literally, that ABK opening things up. Only taking 30%, though. You want to see a lot more per hit as Bayonetta, of course, being a combo-oriented character. Meanwhile, Luis is going to try to cool him off as much as possible, placing tight neutral. And I love the tag, St. Louis, baby.
I mean, it's so fitting here, and again, that's one way to get the crowd on your side there, way to play to your audience. But the interesting part of this matchup is going to be, again, because Palu so quick on the ground, a lot of characters, if they simply jump up and come down into what Bayo's doing, you can dash back, set up some of your combos there. Palu not so easy to pin.
But she is very tall. You saw right there, even the very last part of the ABK going to connect with Palutena right in the face. Didn't really mean all that much in the grand scheme of things, though. We have a pretty tight battle so far. Oh, the dash attack into the shield, but no punish from Lima. That could have even been an up smash. I think it is that negative on block.
Yeah, and this is actually one part where Bayo's going to have a little trouble trying to land there as Louis going for it all there. Got to be careful against a character like Bayo, as low as you can possibly go to ride up the ledge and catch it here. Now they're exchanging back airs, both fishing for it a little bit. Run up shield, let's throw some aerials. And as so often happens, a dash attack breaks the stalemate. How's about another to send Jan up?
And that dash attack looking pretty stalemate. It didn't send Bayonetta almost anywhere on that third attempt, but the back throw just enough to do it. All right, Luis taking the first stock here. Looking pretty good, but obviously a bit worse for the wear in terms of how much damage he's got. We could see Lima tie this one up real quick. Bayonetta does kind of lose some of those kill confirms as the percents continue to climb, though. She might have to just find a stray hit.
A stray hit all the way down at the bottom left of the stage, apparently, but this is the risk here. If you get caught by any portion of that at the low percent, you are going to pay heavily for it. 48% and counting, and it's unbelievable to me how well this Palutena is holding center stage. You see Lima kind of go way back with those ABKs, trying to find stray hits.
But so far, it's been all about Luis, just these simple two-piece combos. Nothing crazy like Bayonetta's combo game, right? But just enough to get it done. Pop your opponent into disadvantage and then look for that option as they try to land on the ground. This time, though, the down air from Lima going to get him out of a bad spot. Evens the score in terms of stocks, but still quite a bit of work to do.
Yeah, you're always going to get that down air at least once. The opponent's going to drop shield, maybe spot up something there. It catches both of them. So using that one early on here, and a great job getting through there. Waited until Palu swung in order to sneak through there. Now a big punish coming off this way. Lands, where are you going? Are you going to go for it? Yes, you are. Go ahead, stack them up. 90% and counting. This is almost an even game, Max.
And for all intents and purposes, it is now, Charles. Oh, my Lord. The air dodge read. Yeah, there it is. That up air, such a reliable killing option for Bayonetta. But once again, we see Luis with a lot of damage on the board. If Lima finds something like an up tilt into back air right now, it could be curtains.
Yeah, there we go. The Palutena attacks, as Fabs called it there, fall back down there. 30%, that's another down B there. Get punished pretty heavily each time. Maybe not as much as you would like, but at a certain point, that's going to get sniffed out. We're getting a nice continuation from Bayo at the center of the stage. Both of these players capitalizing when the opportunities are up here. We'll see who draws first blood.
So useful to have that guard point, dash attack, and back air as Palutena in this matchup. Bayo loves pressing buttons to get back down to the ground. You see the downward afterburner kick right there, that dive kick, just getting snuffed out. And Luis continuing to build up this damage on his opponent. Lima starting to bleed out real heavily here. 101%, but hold on, it's his turn.
Where are you going there? Drifting through there, caught on just the right side there. A punish. Will the back air do it? It is Bayo, a light character, Lady Palutena. Luis striking first there. A pretty even game, though. You can see, again, in moments where these players, well, other players, I should say, may fall prey to some of these traditional traps. Not so much. They find their footing, set up how they want to play their neutral game, recycle it, and that's what we're used to seeing from these two players.
Yeah, of course, top of the class for a reason. And I just want to point out, you know, three of my 4 favorite players in all of Ultimate comprise this top 4. Luis, Lima, and Apollo Kage. But Death Spade also in the conversation. He's really been working his way up there in my books. I'm loving the gameplay from everyone that we see remaining in the tournament here. It's been just great top to bottom, but of course, we're only one game through the winners finals. This could still go either way. We could see Lima respond in kind with a game win of his own right here. It is going to be his counter pick, so he gets to set the terrain that's so important, and it's going to be Battlefield. I think this is so good for Bayonetta, right? You get a higher launch point for some of those vertical combos.
Yeah, you knew that Battlefield was going to come up at least once here. As long as a Bayonetta was on the map here, they're going to jump right back into it. Something to kind of keep in mind here, too, as they play it at the lower portions here, the lower I guess, percentages you could say, you'll so often see Bayo willingly hold shield for a really long time, waiting for a hitbox to go away. With Palu, if you pull it away just a little bit, you're eating 40% for that slight miscue. Speaking of miscue, not enough all the way at the bottom. I guess it's a 0 to death. We'll count it.
Absolutely. The neutral air just holding it right there to scout the double jump from Luis. Of course, he had to use that on his way back no matter what. So we're going to see Lima take a very early lead. That said, Luis back with some fire. 2 nairs into a back air and potentially a ledge trap, but no, going to give it up.
Yeah, committing to a neutral or just a regular jump really early there instead of a short hop trying to do that may have given away the game plan a little too early on that ledge trap, though. Both going to move back here under the platforms, run up shield, the ultimate classic. Now there's an opportunity here. Are you going to go down? Yes!
Oh! Straight to the depths with you, says Palutena. All right, sending Bayo back to whence she came.
Nice work once again. Louis, no fear going after Bayonetta at the ledge. Not a whole lot of players or characters capable of doing that, but he cannot play scared at this level. Again, landing ABK going all the way across there. Lima being willing to swing and take whatever Louis is going to push back. I suppose the risk reward just that skewed in favor of Bayonetta. Throwing off stage there, trying once again to get the counter. Nothing had and going to eat some damage for it. Now in an offstage situation.
Yeah, I wonder if that was just like an autopilot witch time, because most characters do have a hitbox on the recovery. It can pop through the ledge like that. Palutena, of course, not not blessed with that, but also not cursed with it for a situation like that. It actually worked in Luis's favor. Oh, we're going to see some sloppy defensive options right here. You can tell the nerves are starting to set in for both players when those directional air dodges to the ground come out. The American air dodge, as you will. Yeah, that's definitely the sign of pressure mounting in the match.
Yeah, it's incredible here. The most pressure in the moments where the fewest buttons are being pushed here. And again, drifting right down with the air dodge again. Scouting it out. All of these jumps, I think Louis must start to get a little wise to this. Going through and all the marbles put into that with nothing to show for it.
Lima saying, if I'm going down, you're coming with me. But Luis ready for it, just a bit out of the way. Actually, a lot out of the way. But this is still anybody's game. It's so close. If you're Lima, though, you got to be kicking yourself a little bit for giving up the massive lead you carved out in the beginning of the game.
Once again, I love the use of jab there to at least ensure a neutral situation. But again, not quite the conversion that you would like. Battlefield actually working the other way that time, landing a little too early. Can't finish this one either. Finally does due to the no-tech there from Luis. So we have again in either game. You may have coughed up the lead, but you're still in fighting distance. One good hit from Bayo here, and we might see it.
I love how Lima let up the pressure just for a second, making Luis feel safe coming out of shield. But instead, Lima opens him right back up. Oh, man, if we saw the ABK reach off of that up air, that would have been beautiful. But now it's Luis's turn once again. The game's so close at every juncture.
Again, throw a short hop aerial and another one out of it there. It's eventually going to get scouted out here. Bayo has so many tools to deal with it. Once again, taking more damage. How are you recovering right onto, not even the ledge, onto the stage? Will eat a throw for it as well. They're going way off. Palu with the air dodge. It's going to get snipped out, and it's going to be enough. Not with a bang, but with a whimper.
Wow. I don't think I've ever seen the outer hit of afterburner kick take a stock before. But of course, with no resources for Luis right there, he's just not going to be able to reach the stage. He knew it. Lima knew it. And game 2 is going to go into Lima's favor. Now we are basically staring down a best of 3, with each player having taken one, but it's going to be Luis with counter pick advantage, something we haven't seen yet. I'm curious as to what kind of stage he favors for a matchup like this.
It's a great question. I mean, we've seen, whether it's because it's Palutena or simply the breadth of players that Louis has played on stream here, pretty much every stage. And I will tell you this, Luis has won most every game here. A lot of 3-0s if you check the Start GG bracket as well. So I'm curious here as well. There were these incredible interactions at the end of that game as well, where when you're a Palutena or a character that likes to put aerials on shield and see what the opponent does, you could see slight waits just a little bit longer before choosing an out-of-shield option for the Bayonetta. Then you see Luis come back with a couple of aerials on shield instead of just one, and then you see even more defensive change on top of that. The subtle stuff here as we move into game 3. What do you think of this choice?
It feels a lot like the last one. It's just missing something. Of course, that being the top platform. Great choice from Luis here. Not going to allow Lima those high launch points that we were talking about before for the combos to begin, right? Bayonetta loves to kill you off the top. That said, Palutena does too. Her up air, no joke. And we saw some real early stocks taken from that already in this set. That said, looks like Luis is the one starting off right this time. Wow, bouncing off of the shield. Can't say I have seen that interaction before, but I guess it makes sense. You're technically still hitting something. Lima, though, getting hit a whole lot, and we're going to see the side B on the ground. That heel slide just getting scooped up by a shield grab. Oh, almost with the ledge trump, and now Lima has to find a creative way back to the stage. He does, but grabbed out of the air? Okay, give me those legs.
Talk about interactions you don't see a whole lot. We're going to hold that one all the way through and no punish on it either. A little too much pushback off of that smash attack. Again, now back to center stage here. A nice jab, running jab. One of my favorite options for the character who's got a quick jab like Palutena there. Going for the grab. Let's try a raw back air instead to launch across. Louis hitting a completely different gear here. Needs to find a way to close it out here. And once again, falling out of those combos early.
Yeah, it's that DI down that's saving Luis from getting launched even further up. Whoa! That's a great DI on Lima's part there as well. Hanging on 164%. Bayonetta, like you said before, Charles, she's very light, right? So to be at this percent is certainly a luxury. And a rare one at that. Oh no, are we? Oh, okay. Sent the wrong way by the witch twist. I thought we were going to see Lima just push Luis off the left side, send him back to the west coast. But instead, Luis saying, hey, why don't you check out where I'm from?
One nice bounce there, all it takes. The last game ending with a way would be the first stock of this one being taken as well from much the same, but the other character. Now again, awkward positions. Lima finding himself in, able to get back to stage, should be able to close this one out, but no, again, slightly missing it there. And you have to give credit to Luis' defensive, knowing exactly where to DI and when to jump against Bayonetta. It's not as easy as it looks, I promise.
That's that Smash 4 veteran status coming in, right? A lot of these newer Ultimate players not so intimately familiar with how Bayonetta's moves will knock you around, and you see them die very early as a result. That said, even someone as seasoned as Luis will still fall victim to that up tilt into back air. Even though he DI'd correctly to the front of Bayonetta, the leg is very strong all the way through, and we saw kind of that midpoint connecting for the stock. Right now, still a solid lead for Luis, looking to extend it with that grab. What's the ledge trap going to be? Oh, absolutely nothing. Bayonetta with so many movement options out of disadvantage. Very uniquely gifted in that regard.
Very uniquely gifted. And again, it does seem that when Lima is coming in to try to swing here and make it, that's when Luis is finding the options. But I got to give Luis credit again for being willing to grab. When you have a character who's looking to set up different options out of shield, one of the few that they can't react to if they're trying to hit a button out of shield is that grab. A lot of characters don't have great grab options at Bayo at high percent, but still got to be willing to hold them honest. And speaking of honest here, difficulty landing already 80% got stacked up. I feel like I blinked.
Bayonetta definitely has that comeback factor. You're never safe with the lead against her unless you take the stock. And honestly, unless you take her last stock. We've seen Lima just rip so many games away from opponents who were beating him the entire duration. Luis might find that one out the hard way here in this game 3. Of course, there's so much on the line. Counter pick advantage for the rest of the set, but also that silent factor of momentum, right? Who is feeling good about the set? Okay, the dash attack finally gonna break up some trouble that Luis was finding himself in. Let's see if he can convert this into a game win here, or if Lima's gonna bring it right back.
Oh, scooped the other way as well. That's incredible timing. And again, Bayo being so light, so many characters would still be on the plane train. Let's see. All the way, I thought that was gonna be Palu gone.
Yeah, for sure, not connecting with the strong hitbox of the downer, but I do have to point out, Lima went for footstool out of shield to convert that punish, right? That turns whatever frame downer comes out on into a 4-frame punish out of shield. 3 to jump and 1 to footstool. Very nice tech displayed by Lima here, as well as some resilience off the stage, saying I might be in the corner, but it doesn't matter. I can still find a way to hit you. Oh, no! Fully charged on that forward smash, gonna eliminate Bayonetta at such a low percent. That lightweight, honestly, not even a factor. That move is so strong. Almost the whole cast died to that.
You always get one of those. Every set it feels like you've got one opportunity to fully charge a smash attack on somebody who is using their defensive options aggressively at you. Of course, Bayonetta, maybe the best tool in the game to turn things around from the disadvantaged state, but again, that's why you charge it up. You're at 0%. You know if it hits, that's going to be the end. Why not? Play to your outs, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Luis look for that in the very beginning of the set, too, on the first stock of game 1. Didn't work that time. Of course, there's so many aerial escapes for Bayonetta. She often won't just give you that easy air dodge or something right in your face. And Lima was aware of it then, but over the course of a couple games, you start to forget some of this simple, basic stuff, right? As the heat of the match starts to get up there, right? You suddenly find yourself playing unlike yourself.
Yeah, well, and you talk about conditioning as well. If you know that the Palu has been running up and shielding here, you can pretty reliably go ahead and attack it and make what you will after it, so you're really not anticipating it, and that's why the joke is that everybody gets one. But right back to Battlefield. Of course, we've already told you all you need to know about this matchup and this stage. Let's just talk about what these players are doing.
Luis looking to close the door on this set right here. Make sure Lima only gets one in terms of games, but it's not going to be that easy. Obviously, the opening exchanges have looked pretty good for Luis in all the games, other than that 1-0 to death.
Yeah, that was a pretty good opening, we will say here. And now falling there again, landed there to reset it, but an immediate from way off stage up B. That's almost impossible to cover if you've gone out there to try to close out the stock.
Hold on, though. Lima starting to get back into things. No, just going to find himself on the receiving end of a grab. The witch time getting stuffed out on startup. Yes, it is quite a bit slower than it was in Smash 4. I know it feels ridiculous to compare still 5 years into Ultimate's lifespan, but that move has definitely seen better days.
See again on the landing here. They're fighting it out in the corner, and once again, both of them being next to each other and shielding the grab. You have to commit to that very early. Speaking of a commitment, tried to take that stock away immediately. Bayo landing with slight landing lag and then landing with an aerial as well. Again, these players quickly shifting what they're doing out of shield and when their opponent drops down on them.
Oh, dropping down with the back air that time. Lima trying to push things into his favor. It is so close on this first stock, as most of the set has been thus far. All it's going to take is one of those key moves. Back air from really either of these characters might do it. Oh, no. Luis hanging on.
Go fishing. The fish that you caught not quite as big as you were hoping here. Now they're both probably going to start to work in and out of shield, and you called it right there, Max. One of the fastest options and a true kill option out of shield. And of course, we'll just chase it with an up air to close it out as well. We all told you it was going to be close here, and unsurprisingly, living up to the billing.
Okay. Oh, wow. Just the raw up tilt on shield. Lima's so brave. I think that's one of the hallmarks of his gameplay. This guy is never scared of anyone or anything. Paying dividends right there for the combo he got off of it. Wow, in the 2-frame. With the ABK, yes, of course, Palutena, like we said before, no hitbox on the recovery, cannot thwart incoming edge guard attempts like most characters can. Of course, she does get to disappear, which is the rare treat among the cast, but still, sometimes you want to just swat them away. That said, it's once again almost dead even.
Yeah, any wayward aerial here will close it out here. But speaking of wayward aerials, chase you all the way off the side and not able to close it out. Palu's going to land first here, so this should be the other way around. Reads where the roll was coming from, but was turned the wrong way.
I can't help but feel like if Lima had just cashed out with a forward air near that blast zone, there was almost nowhere to run. Typically, you'll see players not die off the top once the forward air comes through, but you were in the upper right corner. There was nowhere to retreat to, right? It would pretty much be death either way. And now with Luis overstaying his welcome, dying at 185%. He didn't really get in any extra hits as a result, so I'm sure Lima's not too dissuaded or too discouraged by that. But still, when you let your opponent hang on like that, it can get dangerous real fast.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and keep hitting it. Eventually, we'll find that 2-frame off the ledge, and is able to get the ledge trump as well, but no punish. And now, as it so often is, Bayo's going to have the hard time, or I'm sorry, Palu's going to have the hard time as Bayo turns it right around. Again, retreats back to center stage. Run up grab here, no longer run up shield. We have changed the game plan, Max.
Yeah, Lima staying one step ahead in the RPS. I think he's noticed Luis is really fond of that option. I mean, how could you not be when you have such great moves out of shield like Nair or Paulo's massive grab, even after the nerf? Still quite a big move. But, oh, yeah, there it is. The great DI and, of course, the large blast zones here on Battlefield going to contribute to Lima's survival. It was Lima letting Luis live too long on the last stock, but now we're seeing the shoe on the other foot really starting to feel the pain. 102 and counting here on this last stock.
Yeah, now again, tried to set it for grab. The roll behind into the grab for the back throw. It's a classic here and a DBZ moment landing. And whoa, that was a dangerous spot for Luis to land here. Will actually manage to fight his way out of it. Interesting, they're not trying to go for a roll or any defensive option. We need a hitbox for protection. Now doing down air out of shield. It's all coming out in this one.
Oh, the bullet arts, though, on that whiffed ABK. Going to keep Lima safe, even if it's just for a brief moment. Luis, though, starting to return the favor here. Already building up 45%. That's about half of Bayo's stock if he's able to land a strong finisher.
Gotta find a way to land to, again, the immediate up B. Seeing where Lima was coming from, but Lima moves forward there. Again, the air dodge through. How are you going to land here? Of course, to the ledge. Bayo's best friend just narrowly missing once again. And again, so much respect being given here. Not trying to go for any too committal option. Out of shield. An opportunity here. Tries to go for the ledge jump. Jumps back up instead. They're baiting each other out here. The back air across stage. Not enough.
How are you alive right now? Luis hanging on, that survival instinct coming into play. Oh, but you're not going to get away with the second one. There it is, the back air much closer to that right blast zone this time. Going to allow Lima to even the score. It's 2-2, going to a Game 5 for our winners finals. what more do you want, right? You just want to see as much gameplay as possible, and at such a high level, it's always a treat to watch.
Yeah, some words being exchanged here beyond simply what stage they're going to be going to left. Both of these two having a chuckle here at another close set at their caliber. These were two of the top 8 seeds coming into this tournament here. This is certainly one matchup that you could have penciled in, I would say, here at the top, provided that everything shook out. Such consistent players, such consistent characters, truly.
Yeah, I mean, people used to call Luis, or still do, honestly, Mr. BO5, right? When it goes to Game 5, he is so good at adapting, figuring out his opponents, and shutting the door on them. Lima might find himself on the other end of that in the set, but I don't know. It seems like Lima is the one who's kind of heating up as time passes here. Might have to take that title away from Luis.
This would certainly be the time to do it. Over 17 grand right now.
My God.
For the prizes here. The $10,000 prize pool, and then 350 folks entering here. It's, you know, we're maybe shaving off some tax here and there. A lot of money. I'll tell you, I don't care how good of friends these two are. My best friend can get edge guarded for $17,000.
That is facts, brother. All those bonds mean nothing on the battlefield, whether
Nope.
it's small or regular. And now going into this 5th game, I see Luis has not locked his character in yet. I'd be shocked to see him go with something that's not Palu. Fox, I think, would be the second best option here, but no, he is going to stick to his guns. Very wise choice here. Now in this 5th and final game, it's going to come down to who has collected more data, but also who can execute it on it better.
Yeah, we've seen small miscues from both of these players get punished all the way through, and again, already changing slightly how they're going to come out of shields here, and you're already seeing a little bit of Luis wait for some of these defensive options here. Not able to capitalize on it entirely, but this is all, I would argue, somewhat of an extension of that initial read on the witch time.
So far, looking good for Luis. Once again, he's typically gotten the better of Lima in the openings, but we talked about the comeback factor that this character has, and it's not because of a meter, it's not because of aura, it's just from her combo game, which we unfortunately won't get to see at all. That down smash obliterating her off the top of the screen. Lima really starting off on the back foot here. Let's see what he's able to do, though. Just a few good hits could take things back into his favor.
Again, the immediate dash away after the nair, anticipating that the ABK was going to be coming out there. Again, you said Mr. Game 5, and I mean, we're starting to see it already. It's, again, the subtle stuff. You know that Palu's going to do part of the work for you. All you have to do, get a couple reads right, put that nair in the right spot, follow up, get the opponent off of the ledge, now a full stock ahead.
And as good as Bayo is at taking games back into her favor, Palutena is amazing at holding leads. The shield on the dash attack in the back air. Just the several ways you can shut down opponents from approaching or from getting off the ledge. In that case, the up smash going to put Luis up 2 very healthy stocks here. I don't know if you're from Texas, if you're a fan of Lima, if you love Bayonetta, it's looking rough for you, but there's still hope. Hold on, are we going off the top? No, not even close.
Not even close, but an F smash. We have now seen every variant of smash attack kill between the two in this game. Up smash, down smash, and now the F smash between these two. Again, coming off the ledge, I want to see what the defensive options are here. We're going to stay grounded for that one to fight out, but getting caught again by Palu. How are you landing? Landing into the shield, so dangerous. Manages to get away. Will just eat a paisley amount of damage here, but this grab and now an F smash. Are we actually going to see another F smash take it out here? Going out for the back here, trying to close this one away.
Luis looking to end it right there, saying, I don't want this game to go on any longer than it has to. But it might not be going on much longer as that up air connects. Yes, sniffing out the downward ABK from disadvantage. That is going to outrange it with ease. Luis moves on to the winner's side of Grand Finals. NorCal looking great.